Welcome back. The South African swimming team that will represent the country in Europe was announced recently. There will be 3 meetings in Greece and Hungary. Swimming South Africa President Alan Fritz joins us to give us more update on that. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, sir. So what is the significance of this World Cup in Germany, Greece, as well as Hungary, in the international calendar?
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on your show. It's good to be here. The World Cup is just part of the preparation. Our cycle is a 4-year cycle to Olympic. You know that Paris is coming up next year. So the World Cup series in Athens, Berlin, and in Budapest is fundamental in terms of our preparations. We have a good crop of young swimmers out there because for us it's beyond Paris, really. Paris is just a few months ago. But the season is a very busy season. We have quite a lot of activities coming up. In December, you see the youth getting engaged in the Africa Juniors in Mauritius, followed by what we call Zone 4, the Southern Africa region, also in Mauritius. We then have our own trials for World Champs in Doha. That is in 15th to 18th of December. And then, of course, it's the World Champs, World Aquatics World Champs in Doha is a big event. We were playing catch-up after COVID in the world of aquatics, and we pretty much... that's why we see the World Champs being so early.
Tell us about the athletes that you've selected for this World Cup. How many?
There's more than 10. There is the normal seniors, Ched and Seitz and Kruger and Martins and so on. There's quite a few of them, but it's all in preparation for our junior. The calendar is full for juniors. The calendar is full for seniors. We then go into... the World Champs preparation in terms of our own trials in December. We then dispatch the team in February to Doha, dispatch a junior team to Mauritius, both for Africa and Southern Africa, as I've indicated. Then there is the last qualifying for those that want to go to Paris or qualify for Paris. That will be our national championships in April. And pretty much it's gone then into the SASCOC environment, preparation for our own camp, prepare the athletes for Paris 2024. Yeah,
we're going to talk about Paris in just a second, but I'm interested in the few names that are unknown, perhaps, as you try to build for the next generation. Anyone that we should be looking out for?
Yeah, Martins. We mustn't lose Seitz. So Seitz is still a junior very much. He is certainly one of the best juniors I've seen all my life in swimming. I've seen quite a few, Martins, Seitz, Kruger, Dracopoulos, and there's a number of them. You will see after the Africa Junior Champs what our pipeline looks like. Swimming in South Africa is in a very good space as far as juniors are concerned. It's for us to produce the goods at senior level that makes the difference for us. And you know that swimming is always the #1 federation in terms of podium performances, and it's hard to keep track because the world of swimming does move rapidly.
Yeah, you speak about that because obviously, as you mentioned, in terms of medals, we look at South Africans who look at swimming as well as athletics. But with the likes of Chad, as you mentioned, in the squad, but he's the twilight of his career now. So who should we be expecting medals from, if not him? Yeah. I mean, you talked about the few youngsters that you're excited about, but also you can speak about the females that we're expecting to get medals from.
Yeah, I think Tatiana's still our star. Laura van Niekerk is a superstar in the making. She had a bit of a setback with a foot surgery, but there's no doubt that there are other young ladies up and coming, and they will really make this country proud. In my view, our women's swimming or ladies swimming is much stronger than our men's swimming, and it augurs well for our country.
Yeah.
It does really well for our country.
Yeah, speaking of female swimmers around the world, we're seeing that, they're sharing the same headlines as their male counterparts, which speaks about, obviously, in terms of the parity in the sport. What is swimming doing right, do you believe, in terms of fixing the gender gap, especially in sport?
Yeah, for us, it's more than the gender gap. It's about high performance and elite sport. We have the Springboks in France at the moment. That is elite sport at its best. We believe in elite sport. Our systems and our structures are designed to deliver elite environment. You'll see a young Peter Kutsia. He should medal, really. But it's all about the athlete for us and delivering the athlete at meets, like international meets, in terms of preparing them. We in a very, very fortunate stage in Swimming South Africa, building high-performance centers is our vision. There's one coming up in the Western Cape. And you've got to have these structures to compete with the rest of the world. The world is a highly competitive place, and if we don't watch it, we'll be left behind.
Yeah, I want to talk about your high performance, but I'm looking at the pictures that we have on screen. Obviously, that's Tatiana Schoonmaker in the previous Olympics with the world record. Yeah. But in the other pictures that we're seeing there, we're seeing a lot of, in what we'll call in the country as obviously transformation. We've something we've not seen, especially in the sport of swimming, because it is predominantly still dominated by our white counterparts, especially. How proud, this is one of the pictures I'm talking about. How proud are you to see that now the sport is actually being introduced into a lot of communities, including the previous disadvantaged communities?
I think you'll be even prouder. We have got the African Diving Championships in Durban in December. We have got 2 prominent black girls that are diving out of this world. They were with me in Fukuoka in Japan at the World Champs, and I'm telling you, transformation at swimming is taking rapidly the stage where we're still struggling a lot with facilities. If we have the facilities, we can certainly transform the sport.
Yeah, speaking of high performance and obviously facilities that you speak about, there's been a couple of high performances that you guys have launched, have introduced in the country. What is the aim of that? Are you trying to, because back in the day, our top athletes, especially top swimmers, were based in the US. And now are you trying to ensure that they don't have to leave South Africa to be able to have a career in swimming?
That's absolutely the right. Our strategy is that we've got to have tertiary institutions where we can approach for bursaries, because many of these swimmers go to the US into a college system and come out with an education. We should do the same in South Africa, but more so we should get swimming off or aquatic sport off at tertiary level to make sure that we maintain a strategy of high performance that can compete with anyone in the world. But for us is that the high performance centers that we're looking at, we're looking to roll out 20 academies across the country in terms of being based at schools, because schools is a safer environment. We want to build 4 world-class high performance, and we started with the one in Franschhoek down in the Western Cape. We are very, very fortunate the support that we get from the governmental structures in this regard. And to maintain a record like we have since 1992, we're going to need the support of everybody, whether you're in the media or you're in corporate South Africa, but to ensure that we are competitive and compete, but not only compete, bring the medals home, because that's what makes this country proud.
Absolutely.
Podium performances. And our view is, if we get the support, we can deliver the goods.
Absolutely. I mean, you've always delivered in the past as far as Swimming South Africa is concerned. Anyway, have you guys set yourselves a target for 2024?
We never set targets in terms of medals.
Has SASCO given you a target?
SASCO always wants the gold medals, but we have potential to deliver. We have certainly got 6 athletes. It's all about getting into the semi-finals and into the finals, because anything can happen. And we have about a good 6 to 8 athletes that can get into that space.
Alan Fritz, President of Swimming South Africa, thank you so much for your time.